Hey, welcome guys, welcome to another interesting little discussion today about a unique twist on the whole investing in Bali series. Now we've been talking about buying properties, leasing properties, the structure required here in Bali to be able to actually own a property, and I say own sometimes in inverted commas because there are statutes in legislation that prevent non-citizens from outright just buying a property and owning it. So there's a whole heap of different ways that local companies here in Bali and external companies have come up with a way of helping you to still invest or move to Bali without it being overly complicated. And one of these people that I actually got in touch with the other week came up with an incredibly interesting option, and it's called Lease for Life.
Lease for Life.
So these are the guys from the Yaran Property Group, Richard and Geri. Geri's based here in Bali, and you're in Perth. And I sat down with the four of us, with you, me and Frank as well, because there are so many complications about investing in one country and living in another country and international property law and and it was a bit of a minefield, even just for Frank to sit down and get the structure of what you guys are offering. But to summarise it from an outsider, I would say you've come up with a way of allowing people to invest in property, live in the property, and when you say lease for life, it's not for the terms of your life, it's actually well and beyond. You're offering like essentially a nearly 100-year lease on land or on a building that people can live in. They can leave to their children, they can sell it off halfway. So they invest in a property, they live in that property, they move over to Bali, live the lifestyle of the rich and famous, and then when they're finished, either living in Bali or when they no longer wish to, they want to cash in their investment, they get the capital gains from the building, and all it's cost them is utilities, basically, the running costs.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a crazy idea. Look, so tell me a little bit about your history, where Yaran Property Group comes into it.
Yeah, Murray, thanks for having a chat with us today. It's a delight to be able to chat to you and let you know a bit more about what we're doing here, because it is innovative and it's really a first that's been offered in Bali.
I haven't seen it before now.
Yeah. So we founded our company some 28 years ago, and over those 28 years we've developed in excess of about 1,600 dwellings, about $800 million in residential developments. And what's really important though is at the heart of Yaran is our mission, which is to be a blessing to others through housing that's affordable, fit for purpose and environmentally conscious. So all our projects have a social outcome. None more so than this one, because right now in Australia there is an incredible housing affordability crisis. Now that's across Australia-wide, in all the capital states. Even in the regional areas, the prices have just skyrocketed. But not only that, there's this increased cost of living, which people are now struggling with, particularly people in that aging demographic where they're relying on the government pension, and that is barely paying rent these days. So in line with our mission, we sought about demystifying the whole concept about living permanently in Bali. And when we arrived here, so over a year ago, we realized there are really only two options. You can either have a lease, where you can lease an expiring lease, which doesn't give you really that much long-term security as to your home. The other alternative is, of course, that nominee system, which has difficulties and challenges and is actually quite risky. So because of the history of retirement villages in Australia, there is a structure where we have modified that. It's 100% legal in Australia and 100% legal in Indonesia. And essentially there's two agreements which actually give the person who purchases the right to occupy here for life that peace of mind that all the ongoing operational requirements are sorted out here. They actually within an established world-class resort with all the amenities of pool, bar, gym, saunas. Everything is available here, and it's all within a beautiful central location. Close proximity to the airport and close proximity to major hospitals. And so what we've done is really not only provided for a permanent ongoing housing solution, which is affordable, but also secondly, we at Yaran, through the assistance of our general manager here, Geri, in Bali, we have a team on the ground to be available to any resident that's here that needs any assistance, and that could come in all different shapes and sizes. It could be 11 o'clock at night, it's a medical call. Well, there are people here to actually help. The other benefit, of course, is because you're purchasing the right to occupy, there is future capital growth. So the opportunity, you have an asset as opposed to an expiring lease.
Yeah.
That's particularly attractive for people that they want to leave something to their children. The opportunity to actually have something that grows in value is pretty appealing.
So it's an investment, I guess.
Yes.
Look, I just want to say this. The complexities of international law are not my strong suit. So I'm trying to dumb it down for people who don't speak legal. So please forgive me if I misrepresent it. This is an ongoing discussion for you to do due diligence. But you invest with Yaran.
Correct.
And look, so this is not for people who have got to 65, they have no capital, they've got no investment, and they're just looking for a cheap home to live. This is not for those sort of people. This is for someone who's got to the retiring age, or actually it's not even retirement.
No.
It's someone who's maybe cashed out, maybe they've divorced and they just want to move to Bali and live the life of Larry. They want to sit on a beach umbrella and a beach chair and enjoy life. They've got a little bit of money, and the investment is in the sort of $250,000 range.
Yes. Yeah.
So you buy into, I guess, a portion of the Yaran properties. That in turn gives you a right to occupy.
Yes.
So you sort of got two, like you say, two investments. Two sides of it. One is the investment with Yaran, which gives you the right to come over here, and another one is the right to occupy the land that you're here for up to 90 years.
Yes.
Or thereabouts. So at any stage, you could just take that on as an investment, and with a reasonable interest rate, you could find yourself just empty the property and just making money every week. Or you could come here and live, or you can have your children come here and stay, or whatever you want. And in 10 years' time, if you say, that's it, I want to move back to Australia, or I want to take off and travel to Europe or something, and you put that property on the market, you guys actually sell the property on, and the lion's share of the capital gain goes back to the purchaser.
Yes.
So it's a safe investment because it's guaranteed through your guys. It's also your right to occupy is guaranteed locally through all the conventions of international law and the Balinese government. And so the weekly costs, because this is some of these, and I'm not going to call them scams, but some of these aged care properties in Australia, I know from personal experience, they take a lot of money off you, and then they take nearly all of your pension as it goes through, and you're left with almost nothing to live on. I don't want to be living in another country with nothing to live on, because you've got expenses,
Yes.
and unforeseen expenses, especially living overseas. So what are your ongoing costs, body corporate or whatever you want to wrap it out? I think here it's all dealt with.
It is. Yeah.
But there's like a utilities cost, which includes your electricity and your internet and like you say, the pool and the gym accesses.
24-hour reception.
Yeah, so you've got your concierge service, you've got buses to take you down to the beach, you've got security guards in the parking lot, you've got everything you need to live in essentially a luxury resort for the rest of your life, for the next 100 years, 80, 90 years or whatever you want. And at the end of that time, if you do pass away, or if you do move back to Australia, or if your kids decide after 20 years, hey, listen, we don't want this anymore, they can sell it, get the capital gain, and the gains are, I had a look at some of your figures. Well, it's pretty much, in 5 years, okay, look, we can only speculate on what the interest rate's going to be. But if you look over the last few years since COVID, the property market in Bali has just gone ballistic. And COVID was the spike that started it, because when the world shut down, there was 110,000 expats living in Bali or coming to Bali to stay from all over Southeast Asia. So that put a massive number of people into the market that need a home. So $20,000 a year homes suddenly went up to the sky's the limit. Based on an average figure of about 10% year-on-year growth.
That's right.
You're looking at, what was that? In 5 years?
In 5 years, we should have a sale price of about 400,000 Australian dollars.
So your 250,000 investment is now worth 400. Less some charges because there are some body corporate to regenerate the unit and stuff like that.
Yes.
And you've got a capped maximum you take out?
We've capped it. In fact, our fees are very, very small by comparison to traditional fees, lease for life in Australia. Because in line with our mission, we just want to provide a solution for people that are really financially wanting a much more affordable outcome. That's not only the running costs, as well as the exit is very flexible, and also there's no age limit either. So this is not a retirement village, this is preferred living. So we have people from 55, you could be 60, you could be 40. The digital nomad community.
Digital nomads, I'll see that.
Digital nomads, we've got people wanting a second home, they visit Bali regularly.
The fly-in, fly-outs would be a
fly-outs
option because they've got a bit of cash in their pocket, they just want something simple when they get here, but nice, they want to be able to relax, they don't want to have to mess around too much. So let's go to the daily rate costs or the daily utilities. That's, at this stage, expected to be capped at $100 a week.
$100 a week.
Yeah, thereabouts. So, so all your running costs, all your maintenance, your insurance, your water filtration, the out of pockets that you're going to have to cough up from your pension or from your retirement savings is only $100 a week.
Yes.
Where are you going to get that? Anywhere in the world. And you get the capital gain. So in the next 5 years, you've already accrued probably another $100,000. And then obviously you take that over 10 years or what was that last one, 20 years or something like $1 million.
Property is, we see it every year.
It's not going down.
It's not going down.
But even if there was a crash in the property, you've still got a property that's going to sell for market value.
Yes.
You guys market it, sell it, and just give them or their heirs the balance. So I think it's a fascinating concept.
Well, it's also brand new, right? So, these units, these residences are in an established international standard resort.
We are in one of the units now, and it's still very much in the construction phase. And I'm going to come back and do a little piece about this particular unit because this is like a showroom, I guess. This is the example. There's 25 units expected to be here within this resort, and this is a 4.5 star.
Yes.
Yeah, 4.5 star, top end. Rubbing shoulders with the rich and famous. Yes, I'll come down and have a swim with you. But look, I'm only throwing this out. This is not an infomercial. This is just an interest of. This is the sorts of things that are available in Bali. There's not just one or two options. There are ultimately limitless options. But where I see this being useful is for someone flying flights. They've got some investment. They don't want to lose that money.
Yes.
They don't want to put that money into a property or. If Grandpa wanted to retire in Bali or something like that, they want to come over, and by the time in 10 years' time, they may not be capable of doing going through the process of selling the property, and the family in Australia doesn't know who to contact or where to go. I'll tell them thank you. But honestly, to know that at the end of that time, whatever that time is, this isn't like you buy this for 2 weeks a year. It's not a timeshare. It's a 90-year continuous occupation timeshare. It's all right, not because you've got the lease at the end, or you've got the loan at the end, which you sell back through the out.
That's right.
To the next person. So you've got that assurance that your money's safe. You've got the assurance that you've got a well-maintained, fully insured, all the things that we have been talking about build quality, cement. I'm looking around, even the colour coding in the wires here is done to Australian standards. So they've had to gut the whole unit to make it suitable for what Australians are going to expect, because we have very high standards compared to what the locals often do in their building practices. I'll tell you, one of my pet hates of living in Bali is having to brush your teeth with bottled water.
Yeah.
For most people, doing that for a few days on holidays is not too hard. I wash my toothbrush out in what I'll call contaminated water, but it's got toothpaste on there. I'm assuming that I'm cleaning myself from the bugs, but I live here now and I've got pretty strong gut bacteria. Eventually, it took a while, I got to promise it. I don't want an elderly person or someone who's medically challenged in any way at all to come over here and get gut bugs and end up with Bali belly and end up with all sorts of other issues. So to find out, you guys have got fresh drinkable water at the kitchen tap, so you can use it for cooking, cleaning, washing your salads and
That's
whatnot,
it.
as well as in the bathroom for brushing your teeth. That's a huge plus, because generally you'll find most villas over here don't have that, and they've just got these big 20-litre bottles of water that are heavy and you've got to lift up and put through a filter as well. So that's one. The insurance is taken care of as well.
All building insurance,
All building
common
insurance.
areas, the upkeep of all the common areas, the cleaning, 24-hour reception with our wraparound 24-hour support service as well. So what we're trying to do, Murray, is actually totally demystify all the aspects of living in Bali, where we can actually offer services of visas, insurance, social clubs.
Take it to the next step.
And integrate our residents with the community, because at the end of the day, loneliness is a huge factor for many Australians, and this is a fully integrated residence where you get to enjoy the company of people coming through, as well as other residents that are going to be here, probably most likely from Australia as well. And this, as we mentioned, it's we've really tried to provide total peace of mind to the resident living here, because at the end of the day, all our projects, we keep a long-term interest in all our projects, and all of our projects have a social outcome. We're now actually the largest developer of disability housing in Western Australia, so those people who are physically challenged and have the inability to even have a shower or make a meal in the current shared accommodation, we provide an incredible solution to that segment of the population that really needs mentally as well to be in a place where they feel like they're at home. So equally what we've done here is for that demographic who have a bit of money, and it's not a lot of money because these are really affordable, to be able to come here and have a total peace of mind to live, enjoy. We were just at a local room around the corner, a lovely restaurant, and Geri and I each had a meal for $3, and we had a fresh coconut for $2. So for $5, and if I just spoke to the reception, and the full buffet breakfast is $12.50, and if you're a resident, it's $10.
That's so your discounts there. So this isn't a retirement home at all.
Not a retirement.
This is a ongoing
Yes.
resort with potentially 25 units set aside for Yaran Group, and that way you've got your own little village of people, or a community of people that are probably mostly up at that retiring type age, but not exclusively. Like I said, with the fly-in-fly-outs, or someone who wants a second home, or who wants just a place to lock up and leave, because $100 a week is not a big amount compared to if you had to do that in Perth. You're looking at $600 a week. So,
and plus
just for the ongoing, exactly. Okay, so it's not the place if you want to have a pet dog, or if you want to have wild parties. This is it's a studio apartment.
Studio apartment.
Right, it's a studio apartment investment that you also get the advantage of being able to live in.
That's right. Also for the peace of mind of the resident, Yaran, our Bali, Indonesia company, our PMA company, actually purchases the strata title. So we have security, Murray, here, as Geri knows, with our bricks and mortar.
Right.
So this is not just some sort of lease for life,
paper transfer.
This is, we hold the underlying bricks and mortar.
Yep.
And then of course we give that permanent right to occupy, where that resident has the ongoing certainty. They have an asset, they have a permanent place to live, and they can come and go as they want. They can rent it out. If they're not here, that option exists as well. So we try to cover all the options.
To provide as much flexibility.
Yes.
It's fascinating. I'd love to see this unit when it's all finished, and maybe we'll come back and do a bit of a vlog about the actual property. The concept sounds pretty interesting, and what I'm going to do, if anyone's interested, just to find out more information, I'm going to put in the description for the video, and also right here under my big mug, I'm going to put a link to your group. This is not an ad for you guys by any stretch. This is an interesting concept and part of the range of services, or the range of options available for people to come to Bali. There are limitless options for people who want to come here to live, or to invest, or to retire, and some of those options aren't going to suit your ideal customers, because they do have to have a buy-in or an investment ability. But on the other side, for people who do want to come here, they want to secure their money, back in Australia as well. So there's that peace of mind that it's not going off into another country. What happens if we go to war? You know, all that sort of things. Look, sorry, but these days things happen, and you've got to make sure that your investment's safe. So you've got a secured investment. You've got a guaranteed place to live as long as you want to, as long as your ancestors want to, within the limits. And an ongoing rental cost or ongoing utilities outlay of $100 a week.
Yeah. With the added peace of mind, you know, we're not running this from Perth, from WA.
Yeah. So it's all local.
Yeah.
Geri can
Well,
actually,
yeah,
that's,
backed up by the Australian parent company.
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
Geri, born and raised in
Yeah.
Bali, so we have a wonderful team on the ground here,
Yeah.
and we'll increase the team as the requirements.
So this is very much in the infancy stage. We've gone through all of the legal side of things. The physical structure is underway and expected to be finished in another few weeks.
Yes.
And from there, you'll be out there looking for investors to come in and discuss with you their options and their preferences and go from there.
Quite right.
Yeah.
Good luck with it. I think it's a great project.
Thank you, Wayne.
It's interesting. Look, the biggest comment I have when I talk about leasing property in Bali is, yeah, but after 20 years you've spent $200,000 on the property, and after 20 years you own nothing. After 20 years here you've got $1.5 million. There's a big difference. Like seriously, you've got something that if the market goes well, you've got to walk out here and your children stand to inherit at $1 million.
That's right.
Whereas, okay, it's not the same. It's not 3 big rooms and a big private swimming pool and your own. You've got kitchen facilities, you've got a nice little bathroom, you've got a studio suite with a nice little outdoor area.
That's right.
Air conditioning, you can leave one all day, every day, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So it is going to appeal to a certain demographic, but the one question it's going to answer is, what do I get after 20 years? In a lot of these investments, you get to walk away and you've got 20 years of use out of a beautiful facility, but then you're going home with nothing.
That's right.
Or you're passing nothing on to your family. So you've got that as a massive backup. And there's no hoops to jump around. You're not nominating someone else on your behalf to own it, and
That's
you're
right.
not doing the maintenance on it. You've got one of the biggest hotel chains in the world looking after the grounds and the facilities.
Yes.
So you've got world-class facilities, pools and gyms and conference rooms and whatever.
Spa.
Yeah.
And the other item, Murray, is that the flexibility of the resident here, they can choose whatever they want to do. If they want to stay in for the day, if they want to jump in the free shuttle bus and go down to the central shopping centre precinct, go to the beach, or even take off and go to 4 days to Lombok. It's a lock and go. And it's a blessing for us because this level of support and service, with having an on-the-ground team fluent in Indonesian, if it came to assistance with a medical issue, all of those bases are covered.
Sounds interesting. I'm looking forward to about seeing how it
Yeah,
goes.
we'd love to.
And listen, I've got to say, these guys have also started discussions about supporting Bali Donate as one of their local charities. So I'm very keen to see this get up and running, because that'd be lovely to see Bali Donate getting some support from the Australian corporate and the Bali corporate sector. And we'll follow this up, because I think it's a really fascinating option, and certainly is going to be the answer to a lot of people's what if, what about, and I think it ticks a lot of those boxes. Well done.
Oh, thank you, Mary.
Yes. We'll give it a shot. Okay, guys. Thanks for coming. We'll come back when they're finished doing this up. I'll give you a few look around the grounds and see what we're looking at. But I'm looking forward to it. I get to come back and jump in the pool.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, guys. Thanks a lot for coming.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much for your time.
It's a delight. Thanks, Mary.